Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Today I wanted to talk about the concept of how you sometimes don't get to live your life, and instead living becomes your personality. And I just wanted to expand upon that idea today, because I feel like a lot of people have problems with finding what to do in life, finding what do they truly want to do in life. And part of it is I feel like they don't see where it comes from. Whether it's different things of going through a different childhood that made them experience difficulties, and they had to prioritize growing up really fast. They had to kind of do a lot more chores, and they had to become rushing an adult, basically becoming an adult really fast. It wasn't like they were growing up, they were being forced up. They were forced into growing up. It was not a choice. There wasn't space for hobbies or curiosity and adventure. It was more job, chores, get these things done, necessities, survival. And that sometimes becomes people's personality, right? And I kind of wanted to bring that up because I feel like a lot of people feel bad for having that personality, going through all these things and not knowing what they're what they do. They're like, well, I don't. When someone comes up to me and asks me, what do you do for a hobby? What do you do for fun? And then they just blank out. They're like, well, I work. I clean my room. I'm very organized. They don't have an answer. They don't have a clear answer of what do they actually do for fun, or what do they actually, are they working on? They were working on surviving. They were working on finances. They were working on saving up for, savings or something like that. It was a very different approach to life, I feel like. It's in the same way as, some people, they have to work and they have to, they take that money and they live paycheck to paycheck life. They don't really get to have that curiosity or get to be like, oh, a business? Oh, a mortgage? Owning the house? You're crazy. It's they don't even think about that because they don't have that the leeway, And it was you're not building your own identity. You don't have a name tag. You're just surviving. You're just a human and you're surviving in a world with other people. And so that's what it was. That was what the environment was like. And, it's just we all started from different starter packs, different debuffs and buffs. And I feel like it was, I hate that other people, feel bad for going through that. And I've realized that I get to feel more content because, there's positive to both sides, because growing up really fast, you get to, I feel like, at least in my circumstance, I get to know at a very young age what to do, what my responsibilities are. I'm very organized in terms of life and seeing what I could do. The problem is that, the mental space, the motivation, all those different things, and choosing something and actually fulfilling those things. Those are, my issues. But I know some people that probably are more educated and have, they do things and they do it, properly, and they're educated. But the problem is they don't know what they actually truly want to do. They don't know what it's like to, they're scared of the idea of being an adult. They don't know what it was like. They don't, they barely wash their clothes. They barely wash the dishes. They barely, they don't even know what it's like to live in alone. They're scared to even rent a place by themselves, kind of thing. And it's just there's differences between the both of different childhoods and different experiences and different, circumstances. And so sometimes what happens is I feel like at least when I became an adult, you kind of wanted to re-experience your childhood. You kind of seek things that are oh, I want to do this because I didn't get to do that, kind of thing. Instead of moving, of course you always want to move forward, right? But there's different priorities in life, You're oh, I want to go for, I don't want to go to Wonderland for the first time. I want to go to, on a roller coaster. I want to go swimming. I want to, I've never tried these things before, camping, all these different things, going out of the country for the first time, that kind of thing, right? Your priorities shift a little bit because you didn't really know what it's like, and your motivation to do things are different. It's a different sense of feeling. We're just now asking oh, hey, what do I like? Who am I when I'm not just trying to survive or just trying to live, you know? Like, who am I when I have all the necessities and I'm secured in place and I have nothing to worry about, kind of thing? Who am I during that time? And so, like, we're questioning that, and it's just different, right? I don't know. Like, it's hard because you lived like that for so long that, like, the healing journey of that is complicated, because you're, like, trying to create someone that you've never met before, you've never, like, fully felt like before. So now that you have this control and that you have this whole leeway, now it's like you're confused, you're lost, you feel like you're behind in terms of, like, experiences and being able to say, like, what you like, what have you done in life. And it's like, that creates a lot of definitely emotional distress and confusion, I feel like, for a lot of people. But I'm glad I see, like, the positives in it, and I kind of wanted to share it in this video. It's just like the fact that you're ahead, the fact that you have more of a mental understanding, you have empathy, you have a lot more empathy for those people that's experienced the same situations, and you guys get to group up and help each other and guide each other on a better life, and you get to experience things. I feel like, in my sense, I like the idea that I'm experiencing it now at an older age, because it feels more real. I feel like if I went on a roller coaster, like, obviously you can't, but, like, let's say you experience it, like, camping, right, at, like, 5 years old or something. Am I going to remember that? Am I actually going to physically remember that? I might slightly the glimpse of memory, but it's like I watched a movie. It's like, you remember it, but you don't actually feel it. You know what I mean? That's the difference. And so when you experience it as an adult, I feel like you experience it, like, 10 times more than if you were a child or, like, 12 years old, whatever. So I like it. I like experiencing it for the first time. You're like, whoa, your eyes are, like, fully new to everything. That's why I really like the idea of, like, playing games and don't watch the trailer, because I just like launching a game and having the person explain it to me, like, explain something that I have no idea what's going on and no idea what it's about or anything. I like experiencing it at its full, like, story driven, like, they get to lay out the whole story and I just experience it, kind of thing. So in the same way as I take the approach for games, I like it towards events, like, actually physically experiencing new things. I feel like it's great. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about it in today's video, and I feel like maybe some people would relate and find comfort in it. But that's pretty much it in today's video. And yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you felt like some sort of comfort in knowing that I feel like this. But yeah, much love as always. I'll see you in the next one, and bye-bye.